Christian whore.
Don't do this.
Clip!
You fool.
Today, we're obviously talking about the wildest moments of the Love Island U.S.A. reunion. The good, the bad, the ugly. Cough, cough, Austin's outfit. Listen, your friends and family might think this is trash TV. Your mom might have called your love for emo music a phase. But here at Reality Emos, we know pop culture moments and alternative music scenes shaped us and still do. So let's laugh together, let's cry together, let's scream at the TV together. Welcome to the Reality Emos Breakdown. Hey there, saddies. I'm Monique, and we have over here our co-host, Eric.
Once again, promoted to co-host.
So this week, we're talking the wildest moments of the Love Island U.S.A. reunion. Watched it last night, and there's a lot to talk about. But first, I want to start with the fits. Ariana Madix, Queen, slayed again. She's styled by the wonderful Emily Men, and she was wearing a beautiful, gorgeous sapphire blue rhinestone beauty. Her lips were lipsing, her hair was herring, and she looked really great next to Andy Cohen. His fit, can't find out who his stylist is. It's probably himself, but he 4+4, 8 as well. And I'm going to put an honorable mention in for one of the best fits. It was Austin.
This is one I want to talk about. Because
his
holy
fit
hell
was fire. Like, it reminded
belongs
me of
in a fire. It's actually, we could do Versace or Hibachi with this because that was, but it doesn't count if there's only one outfit. I recall, were the high tops sparkly?
Yes.
From him? That's incredible. Sparkly high tops, a blazer made of the same material I've definitely seen in my grandmother's old curtains.
Those high tops are definitely sneakers I've bought for my 5-year-old nieces as well.
Also valid.
His range knows no bounds.
His choice of patterns knows no fence, knows no limit, knows no borders, knows no consistency. I was actually pretty stunned. That's definitely a moment of men dressing themselves to the I don't know. It was a bad result. It was not good. It was hard to watch. And then I remember thinking that, you would mention like, did he change? And I was kind of, I'm happy for you, bro. Like someone stepped in and now it was just the same outfit, different angle. It was rough. It was rough. I think it was it Charlie who we caught changing out of his outfit later on in the episode? Or it was Zach, I think. Zach M, was it? And even I was like, this is better than what Austin's putting up. It was pretty stunning. If nothing else, I can say with confidence, it does fit Austin's whole personality. And that was very much on display the entire reunion, that he is absolutely the man.
Earth.
He is so very the man in that suit, and that suit is made for him. Because he is not
blazer
from here.
jean combo. I wouldn't call it a suit.
Don't
do that to suits.
That man is from wherever Young Thug is from, which I think is Mars. But those two are not from here, and they might be cousins.
Yes. I don't know why Austin he wasn't really there, but I don't know why he was there. He was not really participating in any aspect of it, even the dressing. I would say he was worse dressed, even though Chris was there with his game day fit. Looked like he was about to go to basketball game warm-ups or something.
Yeah, this is also more than I wanted to talk about Austin already, but I can't stop.
No.
It's hard to let it go.
Other fits, I liked that Andy said Huda was serving Mamacita. I agreed because her prom updo was serving Mom of the Bride. And her dress a little bit. It's very similar to what my mom wore to our wedding.
I mean, hey, well, she's allowed. This is
sparkly numbers, the updo. It was definitely giving Mom of the Bride, Mamacita.
This is the only time I'm going to be nice to Huda probably this entire episode. So, you know what? Way to go, Huda. You definitely, that was an outfit. I'm not a fashion expert, but I know for a fact it was better than what Austin wore.
And who was best dressed in your opinion?
Ooh, not a fan of Taylor, but I gotta say Taylor had quite an ensemble. He's done that style of suit fit before, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's kind of like a color swapped version of what he wore on day one, if I'm not mistaken. But another thing I really, really liked about that suit was he had like a tiger's head brooch on, or like a leopard brooch, which I thought was really, really cool.
It's giving unique. It's giving rich.
Yeah, I mean, so we can all agree he's not like a vet. Being a vet is not his primary source of income, right? Like he's got that was a luxurious outfit.
I also thought I made fun of Aces. I said he looked like he was coming from the Third Reich, but I think his suit was also pretty wonderful.
He's dressing for the different kind of 20s.
It was actually very stylish. And then, of course, Shelley and Alandria, their dresses were showing off all the right things on them. It fit them perfectly. Oh, yeah, here you can see a picture. But yeah, I feel like they turned out, most of them, with what they were wearing. Clark, oh my gosh, her outfit too was giving. Beldasha, I liked hers too. But
I want to talk about also Brian. I don't know if it's good or bad because, again, I'm never going to know particularly well, but it really did look like trying to do like a fashionable version of like what a tech bro wears to work at his first sales job. It's an oversized quarter zip. I don't know if it's good or bad.
It reminded me of a snake. But I don't know if there's any purple snakes out there. I think I Googled it last night. And yeah. All right, enough of the fits. Let's just get into it. I feel like that reunion was 2 hours. It could have probably been shorter.
That could have been a fucking email.
If they didn't include the Casa people, we didn't really care about them.
Did not need that, honestly. Even any stuff around accountability and stuff like that generally was highly unsatisfying.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Andy tried. Andy sure did hold their feet to the fire. He tried. I'll say that.
I think and don't get me wrong, I think he did a good job. I thought he was so gentle. Anyone who's hopping online saying Andy was mean to anybody has never seen a Real Housewives show or any type of Bravo reunion that he does. Because
Erica Girardi.
Andy treated everyone in that cast as well as he treats any shithead man on any Bravo reunion. He treated them all at worst as well as he treats Jax.
Yeah, exactly. He did what he came to do, and it's kind of annoying to see his 5-year-old fans again on his Instagram posts just telling him he's a bully, telling him he just all these awful names, calling him all these names, not knowing. They've obviously lost the plot. They don't know what a reunion is. They're saying he bullied her. That's just their word of the day, word of the month.
I literally can't imagine showing up to a reunion and saying, I've moved past all of this. And then it like what are we honestly, we have an outline, but it seems like we're gonna have to make a hard call now. Are we working up to the Huda sections or are we just starting with those?
Just like the reunion, we're going to work up to it.
Jesus. So. All right. Let's talk about these montages.
Yeah. So they started with where the final four are now. They did a cute little montage. Of course, Nick Alandria's love was the first in the montage.
Nick Alandria's montage was proof. And I'm sorry for that plosive into the mic there. But the producers were right to rescue Nick Alandria. I feel like they are vindicated. I felt like I was vindicated when we see that in a clip show format. Suddenly, it all starts to make sense about, oh yeah, wow, there was so much evidence. Nick picking her for basically every challenge, basically every compliment that wasn't directed at Sierra went straight to Alandria. Mm-hmm. Go figure.
Yep, the proof was in the pudding.
Also, reliving all the challenges via montage was triggering for me personally. That would be, aside from vetting of contestants, scale of 1 to 10, average grossness of every challenge, or average grossness across all challenges this season was like a 6, which is not crazy, but it's still too high.
Yeah, that was my one of my many gripes about this season was how non-cerebral their challenges were. They used to add some in. Again, for anyone who didn't watch Love Island UK this season, I would implore you to kind of see what the right recipe is, because they just had them throwing food on each other, kissing, like not really having any type of thought behind the challenges. And most of them were gross. Yeah, I agree with you.
I know this is like my second Wildland reference at this point, but I believe he said that the classic ingredient of good Love Island challenges is that it's not about like being overtly freak nasty. It's about suggestion. And that was all removed from this season. And I don't want to re-traumatize the audience by like, spending too much time on specifically the challenges, but it is a note. It is something that I definitely don't want to deal with next year if we can possibly help it, because holy hell, that was rough to watch again.
Please, producers, never again. I think no matter what, they're going to do gross challenges every year. We beg them not to.
We know there's one baked in. We know there's one every season.
There's
That's
usually like
fine.
2, and we beg them to not have us hear them kissing on the mics as much as they do. I think they do it to get a rise out of us, to be honest. So the more we ask for them to not do it, they might do more. But yeah,
there's no other business on earth that I know of that operates that way. But sure, fine.
They know we'll keep coming back. All right. So basically, the montages started and gave a recap and led us to talking to the final 4. So first, they started with Brian and Amaya.
So it's obvious that he cheated, like that night that they're talking about, right? Am I crazy?
The lapse in judgment.
It's not. It's the vagueness that jumps out at me.
He just said he was pouring shots and he had a quote unquote lapse in judgment. And then Amaya said they prioritized their relationship and they have tunnel vision.
Hear me out. Okay, sure, you pour shots in someone's mouth. Yada, yada, yada. I understand that that's not a great look. I also am willing to say that that's not cheating. And so that's not something that maybe I'm reading way too much into this, but I think about calling that, hey, I had a lapse in judgment.
Yeah, he's rehashing what we saw on Instagram. So that's what we know. We know he was pouring shots in strippers' mouths. Or they might not have been strippers, sorry.
Yo.
Scantily clad ladies' mouths. And
yeah, if I want to dress like that, that doesn't change my profession.
Exactly. Sorry. Sorry. Don't get me canceled. But yeah, he said he had a lapse in judgment, and that's that. But we know that something happened because they don't follow each other anymore. So.
Also, Chris, I didn't see shit. That's not exactly what he said, but damn, he might as well.
But we learned that they didn't really, I feel like they were the only ones that didn't really put a label on it, like say if they're exclusive or anything, or girlfriend, boyfriend, but
I don't think anyone put a label on anything
everyone
the entire episode.
They were exclusive. That's a label.
That's
So yeah, Iris and Pepe said they're exclusive, not dating. He's never asked Iris to be his girlfriend. But those two as well, they are not following each other. I think the day of the reunion, we found that out. So those 2 out of the final 4. Next, 3 out of the final 4, Huda and Chris. Chris, in the words of Chris, he said their relationship is weird.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot to say. I mean, I know that like the whole wandering eye comment, things like that. I mean, this whole, we're walking into another trap door to just talking about Huda. So watch me skirt around the outline as we do this. Literally, like this whole episode was just a montage of Huda being asked about, things that she said or claims that she made, and then consistently being fully unable to back it up.
Yeah.
And then the note about the whole, hey, calling Chris to be like a few days before the thing to be like, oh, well, I just want to make sure we're cool. Like, go, like, apologize to the world, and then maybe we can be cool. What are we talking about?
So apparently she saw that her fans were showing hatred towards him, and she called to express her gratitude of what he did for her during the show, and she didn't agree with the hate. But
Wow,
We're gonna
classic Huda.
say it.
She'll say in private, I don't agree with it, but then we'll do fuck all about it.
Exactly. Time and time again, probably throughout this episode, we're gonna. Yeah, why didn't she make a video to her fans? Why?
Like she tries to have it both ways, behaving as though she is just a private person who's just minding her business, and then, you know, she wants to take advantage of having, you know, millions or however many freaking followers online to gas her up all the time. But then as soon as there's any accountability around, like, hey, you have this huge platform, it's I'm a little baby. Like, it's just like Fred Armisen in Broad City.
They also talked about the relationship status of Huda during that little segment. And that's when she said she can't talk about her relationships, quote unquote, because of Netflix.
Do you know who Andy Cohen is? Do you know what network you're on? Do you know that you are on the Peacock network on, as Andy said, the #1 show of the summer, in front of one of the biggest honcho type folks at Peacock, and you are saying I've got an NDA with essentially the competition. Not to, like, it's just it's so foolish to me. It is also like, God, talk about like just not. We have a standing on business challenge, but like, talk about not being able to handle your own literal capital B business, like running your social media quote unquote empire, whatever you want to call it, like a business, to the point that you can't see, hey, this is the network that has paid my bills up to this point, and now I'm going to prioritize Netflix and essentially kick Peacock to the curb. I just want, like, Peacock is never doing anything for Huda again. She's not being invited back to any series just based on that comment alone.
Love Island Games premiere September 16th.
I highly doubt she will be. I just doubt they want to promote her at this point. Maybe if she's back for that and it's already filmed, maybe, but I strongly doubt at this point.
Yeah, I mean, her saying legal reasons and not even like elaborating on it in any sense, and also being on the red carpet with Louis.
Yeah, she already hard launched this relationship. What are we talking about?
Yeah, going through all the drama in that gamer house with Louis. Like, we know what your relationship status is, girl. What are you doing?
Yeah, the evidence is overwhelming. Also, Netflix denied it.
I
mean, I know it's on Twitter, so it's not like it's a friggin' legal document.
No, there's a podcast. What are they called? There's a podcast that actually reached out to Netflix, and they said that it just was not true.
Just objectively false. Perfect.
So she just be lying. I feel like she lies to lie and to make herself seem more important. But yeah. That was an interesting piece of nothing, because we know what your relationship status is, girl, so why? And then they went on to the beautiful Nick Alandria, who seemed extremely happy. They said they're going on trips, they have future dates planned, experiences that Alandria wants to get off her bucket list, like skydiving, and they seemed the happiest and realest, like, on that stage, out of the 4 that were in the top 4, so happy for them. It seems they're still together. I think that they will probably last a long time, even if they don't work out romantically. I definitely can see them as friends for forever. And then they also, Ariana asked about Sierra and Nick and Alandria's friendship, and they're just not friends with her. Nick said her videos were off-putting, and he thought she was prioritizing attention versus fixing any friendship that he could have with her. So
yeah, and it's certainly not on her to fix that or anything like that, but it is just like, yeah, why are you gonna, like, she was fired from the show for being racist in however you want to slice it. Like, that's not someone you're probably just gonna run back to, like, I want to be besties with this like.
Yeah, I just feel like if like I was getting a video, I mean, granted, anyway, if I was in this situation and I was getting requests allegedly to be like, what do you think about Nick and Alandria being together? I probably would have reached out to them to be like, people are asking me to make a video. You know, I don't say it's up to her, but I would say if she actually did want any type of friendship, she should have reached out. I also think it goes both ways. Like, if they wanted to mend the friendship in any way before she was making the videos, they could reach. I just feel like nobody wanted to be friends with each other. They should have just said that.
Yeah, valid. I mean, like because why would you? Like, we're adults. I think they're both in their mid-20s at this point.
Yeah.
Like, why would you? She didn't want to come to the reunion. She's kind of a non-character. I see her being.
I don't think she didn't want to come. I feel like she definitely wanted to be there.
I don't think I feel like
I doubt she was invited.
I would fall out of my chair if Sierra was not offered a spot at the reunion.
I doubt she was, Eric. She was kicked off of the show.
Yeah, she was removed from the show, but I don't know. I feel like she declined.
I'm gonna tell you she was.
All right, let's look. We'll call in a fact check on this one.
And then also, I think it's confirmed that Nick and Alandria boinked because Andy asked if it was worth the wait, and they both gave each other a smile, and Alandria said yes.
You're neglecting what Nick said.
What'd he say?
He said, "Yeah, they don't call me Big Belgian for nothing," or something to that effect. He might have said, "Yeah, it might have been that's why they call me Big Belgian." But Big Belgian was
they did it.
Brought up. Taylor and Alandria. Oh my God, I'm gonna be honest. For the sake of time, who cares? Nick and Taylor are still friends. That's great. Taylor tried to say Alandria is his dog, which just shut up.
And then Ace was like, "Should we clap?" And then they all just awkwardly clapped.
Yeah, I mean, it did not land.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that they really need to close that door. I think it's just closed.
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever their deal is. It's one of the least interesting. It's somehow, despite being such a focus at the beginning of the season, the Taylor Alandria thing is just so dull.
Because she just leveled up so hard, so we don't care.
Yeah. So I'm sure she's crushed that she doesn't have her man pushing her head on Instagram Live,
making her put pots on her head for TikTok.
Speaking of speed runs, Ace and Shelley, still exclusive. Ace still trying to be romantic. That's adorable. They addressed the whole meeting in New York thing. I did appreciate that Ace tried to use the Jesse Solomon defense when asked about all the comments that he left on her Instagram. That he's just like, no, I post stuff. I like to say comments. I like to gas up the girls that are on my timeline.
I believe it. They're just like too. I don't want to call their relationship awkward, but I don't see it that they knew each other outside of the villa and were trying to finagle and trick us into them winning and finding love there.
Yeah, I think the odds are astronomical on something like that.
It's just a weird theory, but yeah. Right. And then the Casa Amor people came out. I could speed run this too.
The summit of who gives a shit mountain. Again, Zach K couldn't even be bothered to be there in person, and honestly, I think he had the right idea because we literally saw him napping on the couch.
It's not that he couldn't bother to be there. I doubt they wanted to pay for his ticket to get there. Just like they don't want to pay for Sierra.
I think $500 for an economy flight was manageable for Peacock. I truly think, though, whatever conflict. Doctor's appointment doesn't matter. Worth not going, Zach. Good on you.
I thought it was cute that both of them are fighting. Oh, sorry, both of them. In my head, Brian and Zach were fighting. So adorable.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's nothing
just saying
like
he was the fakest out of the two of them.
Nothing like Brian standing up for the girl he's cheating on to make sure. To make sure she feels cared for, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Austin and Jaden, honestly,
we don't like Austin.
Austin he's
not a Christian.
If nothing else, he is consistently in character. Because finding out that he was just like, I want to take you on a yacht, and then just didn't. And then also was offered hey, if you want to go doink other girls, just let me know. Don't make me look stupid. Yeah, I'll totally do that. I'll definitely let you know.
No, he said,
He said he didn't, but then Andreina confirmed that he did in fact reply. That's why I'm using his voice for that. And then just doing it and then being like, oh, I could still take you out on a yacht, though.
I mean, let's put into the evidence his entire persona at the reunion. I don't think he's all there. We know he's not all there. So Jaden, girl, of course he didn't.
Yeah, what? Like, Jaden didn't even look mad. Like, look at what you dodged. Look at what you don't have to deal with.
He probably, like, totally forgot when he saw girls in his DMs. Like, he just forgot the conversation with Jaden. So, whatever. I mean, he also, what was his body count? Not that matters, but...
Oh, I forgot some, so it's gone down since the show.
I forgot about that.
Again, absolutely outrageous, but I do kind of enjoy doing the Austin impression a little bit.
You're pretty good at
Shelly, I just don't like being in a love triangle with you.
You're good at it. It's a little too good. I don't like
it. Well, you know.
And then we don't have to talk about the other cast people, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot of whatever. I think if we could just fast forward straight to Jeremiah and Pancake Gate. I will say, Jeremiah is a well-read young gentleman, as we can see by his TikTok content. But he showed up prepared, and
I love how Ariana's like, "Hey, you nervous?" He's like, "I'm not nervous. I'm excited to be here." He's like, "I'm ready."
How can you be nervous if you are prepared?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing he was certainly prepared with was the definition of love bombing.
Yeah.
And also, I thought he did a good job holding Ace's feet to the fire on, like, his, misuse of the love bombing thing and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the man reads books. He's got the points together. He speaks. I think another thing that jumps out, because you can even hear on the podcast when I have to speak off the cuff, I do little pauses like this. Yeah, almost like, it's almost like that's why I'm so good at the character of Austin.
Stop it, please.
Okay. But in all seriousness, like, Jeremiah almost talks too fast to hear. His brain is going. And the only thing I wish he'd done differently is starting out his segment by saying, show of hands, who can tell me the definition of love bombing? Because this is not a thing where it's like, I'm not, again, he's not doing some shitty debate bro Charlie Kirk thing where it's like, oh, he rehearsed for this conversation. That is a serious term. That's a real term with real meaning. And it's been so insanely misused.
That people have used to villainize him.
With no understanding of what the word means. Like, it's just like when people misuse the word gaslighting for just anytime someone says something I don't like.
Yeah. Yeah, he handled that really well. After they played the whole Pancake Gate montage, which I totally forgot the part where he was like, yeah, I don't think it's a problem Taylor made you pancakes. And I think it's kind of crazy we're still talking about this. Like, his face there was like, again, I truly believe Pancake Gate was the demise. People think that her telling him she was a mamacita was when Jeremiah flipped. Pancake Gate is when Jeremiah flipped because he knew Huda was not emotionally stable because of how she handled that entire... Him trying to make her breakfast turned into just a slew of issues for her. It's
I hadn't even heard that idea that people thought that he pulled away because he found out she was a mom.
Yes.
Which also, not for nothing, that would be, I mean, I'm not saying
it'd be reasonable. It
would be valid to an extent.
I really don't think that's when Jeremiah pulled away from her. I think the whole Pancake Gate situation showed a different side of her. Granted, she was already showing very horrendous sides of her. That was one where he tried to do something nice for her, and she completely switched it, flipped it, tried to make her feel bad that his friend was helping make breakfast, tried to just make him feel awful about not eating all his breakfast.
She loves to chase down and bang black men. And then do everything she can.
Black men.
Do everything she can to then make them feel less than. Also, quick aside, when I say that it would have been understandable for Jeremiah to pull back after finding out she's the mother. It's not because that's generally an okay thing to do. It's because he didn't know.
And she hid it.
Yeah, it was because it was hidden
days.
from him. I just want to clarify that before.
I mean, I think it's reasonable to not, I don't want kids. So if I'm dating a guy and he's like,
I want babies.
10 days into us dating,
sorry, if
I
he
have
sounds like, I want babies.
No, or I have a baby and we're already dating 10 days. Make it a month because time moves so much quicker in the Love Island villa. I would feel some type of way. Like, that's something that you really have to think about. But I really don't think that's what made Jeremiah switch up. But back to what you were saying about his whole love bombing thing, I thought that it was also interesting that when he defined what love bombing was, he kind of threw in, he didn't really elaborate further, but Huda said, I love you twice in a span of 3 days. Isn't that considered?
Well, if we want to talk about that, because I'm looking at the outline and I think it's time. I do think it's worth pointing out through all the clips we saw, through all these montages, et cetera, especially the ones that were focused on Huda. You want to talk about love bombing? She uses "I love you" for everything. I actually wish we went back and counted the number of times during, for example, and we'll get to it, but the Shelly, Chris, selection bit clip that they showed, the amount of times she said "I love you" was insane. Not to mention that when confronted about the whole racist TikTok clip post things that Alandria brought up, and even the George Floyd the Photoshop thing that someone did. Huda's
also,
response
on top of someone putting Alandria's face on top of George Floyd and Huda on top of Derek Chauvin, that happened when one of Huda's followers or stans hacked into Alandria's TikTok and took it over. That was one of the pictures that they posted. So she also said that it modified her algorithm too to have really horrendous things for days because of what one of Huda's fans did.
Crazy.
But sorry, going back.
But the fact that Huda's defense for that was, but then I got on a podcast and I said that I love you and said how much I love you, Alandria, and yada yada.
And then
yada.
that didn't work. So I faced racism too.
It's Darvo to me. And again, that's another weaponized therapy term, but literally, if it's just unfortunately now it becomes political, but I really do think there is an insane, the Venn diagram between Huda supporters and Trump supporters has to be a goddamn circle. But if it's the classic thing of every accusation is an admission. She is if she says someone's manipulating her or bullying her, let's show clips of everything she did to Chris and Jeremiah, all the things she said about Jeremiah, the counting down 3, 2, 1 thing on Chris, which again was that was abuse. That was manipulation.
They
and
really
it was also
showed those things in the reunion.
Yeah, I think that's some Jesse Lacey shit. And for the 5-year-olds who are into Huda, you should know who Jesse Lacey is, and you should know that Huda is just fucking like him with that behavior.
And if you don't feel like getting into emo alternative music, just look up Jax Taylor.
Yeah, or that. She's literally the female Jax Taylor, but it was clip after clip after clip of everything she accuses other people of doing. She is the person doing that. It is unbelievable. Yeah, she also she weaponizes I love yous. And then we should have made a tally of the I love yous, and then also I apologize if. Apologize if is crazy.
Or I'm apologetic that. And she never really said I'm sorry. She just would say I'm apologetic that. Even when the whole Grayson, Pepe, stand on business thing came up, she said I'm apologetic that card did that to you.
Ridiculous.
She can't ever apologize truly for her actions. She either says I love you, laughs it off, or says
the laughter drove me insane.
Oh yeah, especially kept laughing at all of the clips of her being horrendous.
And again, I'm gonna bring it right back to the whole I'm gonna count down from 3 conversation quote unquote with Chris, when again she was literally trying, like it's one of the foulest things I think you can do, like in a situation like that, like literally like threatening, like if you don't fuck me it's gonna be a problem, basically, or you whatever she was trying to say. But clearly she was trying to get busy with him based on all the track record that we've seen from her before. She saw, like, forget all the other clips she laughed at, she saw that clip and laughed and had the audacity to be like, oh, I'm past it now. I'm so grown. And then Andy Cohen clocked it immediately. Goes, so it's been 1 month and you're a whole different person. Every, to a T, 100% of the time. And I'm also saying this for any of Huda's young stans or whatever. Anytime, if you ever in your life meet someone who does bad things consistently, and again, if you don't believe she did bad things, whatever, we can't fix that right now. But if someone who does bad things and then comes back in any amount of time that is less than at least a full American year of intense work, meaning
even a European year.
If they got time to post on social media once, they're full of shit, okay? Anyone who says that they have changed even a little bit in less than a year is lying to you and is going to do it again.
I would personally disagree with you because I think with the right amount of therapy, self-reflection, people can change in, I wouldn't say
not
a month.
In ways like that.
I wouldn't say a month's time. But my problem is she's not showing, her actions don't show that she's grown at all, because to your point, I had to look up Darvo.
Maybe if she's a full amputee, then yeah, she probably can't abuse as well as she used to. Then maybe she's changed.
I just have seen, I don't know, I've seen people change in a shorter time frame than a year, but I would say she's still manipulating, using those tactics, the tactic of Darvo. So she's still denying the things that she did by laughing at all the clips and like being like, yeah, I grew. And then still attacking people. So even in that conversation about Shelley and Alandra being bullies, she never straight up
had no evidence.
Yeah. And then she still was reversing her victimhood and offending them by saying like, oh, I faced bullying too. And they're just making up excuses as to why she couldn't take her feral fans and like control them and say like, these girls weren't bullying me. They are the reason I was able to at least stay a little sane in that house, like she did in their exit, her exit responses to them and like anything inside of the house. It was interesting to me that she said the clips that she saw coming out of the house are what made her feel like she was bullied. So I'm also like, girl, were you watching those fifth graders edits?
I heard this term a few weeks ago. She's a cry bully. It is people who try to victimize themselves as a way to bully others. And it was insane for me to watch. And we even saw it after the fact, after she gets online, after the reunion airs, and then she says that now she's pulling. And don't get me wrong, I'm not in no way am I defending Zionism or Zionists here. Like that's so not the point I'm trying to make here. But the fact that she pulls out, oh, Andy Cohen made me uncomfortable, and I think he's a Zionist, and this, that, and the third, which he is. Using that on him now after she got tough questions when she had none of that smoke for Alex Cooper, who is also an avowed Zionist, whose show she was on, but because Alex Cooper gave her not a tiniest bit of a challenge on her podcast, it's all gravy, baby. There's no issues there. Mm-hmm. Like that to me is insane.
Well, it's always, she just has different rules for different people.
Yeah,
always.
It has nothing to do with actual standards.
Which again is why we always compare her to Donald Trump. It's like if you kiss her ass, she's okay with you. And then once you stop the ass kissing, she finds a way to manipulate the situation to make you look like the dickhead. Yeah,
it's I don't know. Sorry, I don't want to go too crazy with it, but like literally, it is just like that. It's if you literally Hitler himself could could interview her, and as long as he was nice, she would turn around and say, "Great guy, totally cool with me." Mm-hmm. There's no standard other than, hey, as long as they're nice to me. Which, by the way, I just want to turn this around. That's exactly the same as all the dudes that you know who are friends with an absolute piece of shit, probably a sex pest or something like that, or some type of abuser, and you say, why are you friends with this guy? And they go, well, he's always been nice to me. That's Huda. That's exactly the type of person she is.
Yeah, I doubt that. Well, I don't even have to say I doubt. It's just obvious that even when her fans were bullying Alandria, and she knew how much of a good friend Alandria was to her, they talked about it on the plane to Fiji. On the flight to LA, she said she'd stop and acknowledge her fans. And she ended up riling up her fans even more with her interviews, which caused Alandria to unfollow her, which then caused her to like victimize herself even further. Like, there's just so many signs that she only cares about giving attention to and building people up that show her unconditional love and are yes men, essentially.
Yeah, that's all she's looking for.
Yeah, like if as long as you think she's perfect and she's fine, like Huda will stand by you. It doesn't matter if you have bad intentions. So there you go, Huda fans. You guys are doing the right thing if you want.
That's really what you're into, I guess.
Even Ariana said she stuck up for Alandria and was like, I saw Alandria be there for you as a friend. And Huda really didn't have any way out of that. I don't think that they even like tied up that loose end, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. It's just while we're here, I just want to say this is a general rule. If you got someone who has beef with both of the OG black women on the show, and neither of them wants to be friends with her, that person's a piece of shit.
They wanted to be friends with her. That's what the problem is. And also, I've seen a lot of chatter about why Huda has had such a visceral reaction to Shelly and Alandria. So it's very obvious what her type is. She confirmed it herself when she first entered into the villa, that she really likes pretty men. But we've seen now with her last 3 relationships,
it takes a little more than pretty,
that she loves light-skinned black men. Her baby daddy is a light-skinned black man. And what also does concern me is that her daughter is a black woman. Mm-hmm. And she's shown time and time again that she does not understand the plight of black women. She has been the cause of struggles for black women. And the chatter that I've seen relates to how Huda treats Shelly and Alandria, because they are getting attention that she doesn't technically think they deserve, because she tends to be in competition with black women, and most likely she is winning over the men she goes after. But in the house, in the villa, it was not the case. So that's also likely why she's not navigating this properly. It's because in her day-to-day life, she's most likely used to winning, quote unquote, with any woman she's in competition against, especially black women. And in the villa, that was not the case. Like, Shelly got Ace. Huda obviously wanted Ace. Shelly got Chris and Casa more.
That would certainly explain her, like, why she's so specifically hateful towards Shelly. Yeah. Like, sorry, I hadn't really unpacked this before, but like, you think about, she's probably furious seeing a black woman be loved and cared for by her type of man. Mm-hmm. Like, by the type of man that she likes and she wants. And she cannot stand that Shelly got Ace and that Ace actually likes her.
Yep. And Shelly would have had Chris, which is also why I think that clip that they showed with Huda and Shelly talking about Chris, some people have said it's swayed them towards the opinion that Shelly was in the wrong, but I still believe Shelly was in the right, because like,
there's no misunderstanding here, right? Like, yeah. Shelly didn't say, that there wasn't that conversation. Shelly was mad that this was framed as though, Huda was doing this for Shelly. And clearly that was not the case, as exemplified by the fact that Huda said, even if you say no, I'm doing it. So right off the bat, it doesn't matter what Shelly says. So she has no reason to say no, because Huda's been clear that she's going to do it anyway.
And
so the only thing you're doing is starting more beef by saying no to that. But it was so insanely manipulative. As someone who's in sales, she was treating her not even like a prospect. Huda was treating Shelly like a mark.
Yeah, she literally sold that to her. Unless we forget that when Chris made Shelly 2 pancakes and gave her a flower, Huda made a big deal about that. So did she actually bring Chris in to explore both of them? No, she didn't. So she also lied about that. So on top of her pretending that she brought him in so he could explore both of them, and then also manipulating Shelly into thinking that was a good idea, like, everything about it still,
I don't even
to
think
me,
she successfully manipulated her. I think Shelly was just like,
tired.
Okay, sure.
She didn't want to argue. She was tired.
Yeah, she looked alarmed through that entire clip.
Exactly.
And again,
because she brought up that wasn't the first conversation they had about it. So I also think at a certain point she was just like, you know what? Huda's going to do whatever, and I'm going to look like the biatch if I don't just say yes to this.
Again, there's a huge layer of media literacy here where it's like, yes, you can read. If you just read a transcript and it's just like, Huda says I love you a lot, she must really love Shelly. Like, yeah, that's not even the full surface level picture. Just there's so many context clues there in terms of like Shelly's behavior, how that conversation went. That was extremely manipulative. And again, you want to talk about love bombing, nothing quite like trying to shoehorn in an idea that you essentially are saying has to happen. Like, you have to get your way, and then just peppering it with, oh, but I love you. Or as Austin would say, but I love you. Like,
and Shelly just being like, okay.
Yeah.
I love you, bitch. Okay. The other extra piece of footage we got was the heart rate challenge. I don't think they spent enough time talking about that. They left it at the very end, but
I just don't understand how I'm still shocked by the hard cut to they're standing up now. But again, like, either way, she licked Ace's dick. Like, that's kind of the end of it. Like, I also, it's just, I think the other thing that, like, it was really telling to me that when Andy was like, hey, does anyone think there was something missing from the clip? We actually never heard audio of anyone saying yes or no to that.
Jeez.
Like they blew right through that one. So I mean, it could be nothing. It did stick to me, but either way, I think based on what I saw in the clip, I do still think it was a little too far. And speaking of clips, I also just really appreciated the whole Sierra being evicted clip getting debunked with that little bit of audio and it turning out to be them singing a song. But most of all, Monique, I am just so glad to put this season of this show behind me because this is one that I will not be rewatching.
Yeah, I saw someone on Threads say they were rewatching the other day and everyone's like, why?
Yeah, why would you do that to yourself?
I never rewatch seasons because there's so many episodes, but yeah.
I've never seen a season of any show with so much promise at the beginning turn out so bad.
I know. I told so many people to start watching this season too. I feel bad. Sorry to all y'all that I was like, start watching Love Island. It's great. Anyway, so that's our recap of the wildest, craziest moments. And our only special report today is that Love Island Games premieres on Peacock September 16th. So be sure to catch that. It's a very Love Island heavy episode.
And we'll just find out if Huda's on it, because now I want to know.
Yes, when the cast is revealed, we'll be sure to chime in on that. But anything else?
No, I can't wait to watch something else. Because honestly, and I don't want to sound like
watch Perfect Match.
Well, now I got to look at Huda's new man. No, I'm not interested.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we got for you, saddies. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome week, and we'll catch you next week. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do what you can. See ya.
Bye.